You know that feeling where after you gain a little weight, it's like you cease to exist in certain spaces? You walk into a store or a dinner party, and it's like no one notices you anymore. It's as if the attractive woman was replaced by someone invisible. I felt that in my soul for 5 years, and it hurts. But I discovered that it wasn't a lack of willpower. It was a hormonal shift that no one warned me about at 35. I reclaimed my space and my self-esteem, and I want to show you how to do the same.
They want you on medication for the rest of your life. Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound, the new miracle drugs for weight loss. Doctors are prescribing them like candy to anyone who walks through the door with a few extra pounds. Insurance companies are fighting over coverage. Pharmaceutical stocks are soaring. And yes, these drugs work. People are absolutely losing weight. But nobody's talking about what happens when you stop taking them. Nobody's talking about the long list of side effects that patients experience daily. And nobody is telling you that a simple native seed compound can do what these drugs do, without the weekly injections, without the constant nausea, without the $1,000 monthly price tag. Today, I'm exposing the truth about these medications that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know. And I'm showing you the natural alternative that comes from plants that have been used for healing for thousands of years. I'm not some anti-medicine conspiracy theorist who thinks all drugs are evil. I worked in pharmaceutical sales for 18 years. I know exactly how these drugs get developed, how they get approved, how they get marketed to doctors and patients, and how much money is at stake. Billions upon billions of dollars. And that's exactly why you need to hear what I have to say. Because I've been on both sides of this equation. Let me tell you how I got here. At 52 years old, I was struggling with menopause weight like every other woman I knew. I'd gained about 30 pounds over 5 years, most of it around my middle. I was eating reasonably well, exercising regularly, doing everything the health magazines told me to do. And nothing was working. My doctor, a woman I'd trusted for years, suggested Ozempic. She pulled up the clinical studies on her computer. She showed me the impressive before and after photos. She quoted the weight loss percentages: 13, 14, 15% body weight loss. She made it sound like a miracle with no downside. I was ready to sign up right there in her office. After years of frustration, finally there was a solution that actually worked. But something made me pause. A feeling in my gut that something wasn't quite right. 18 years in the pharmaceutical industry had taught me that the studies doctors see are carefully selected by the companies selling the drugs. They emphasize benefits and minimize risks. They show the best-case scenarios. They never show what happens 5 or 10 years down the line, because those studies don't exist yet. These drugs have only been widely used for weight loss for a few years. We genuinely don't know what happens when millions of people take them for decades. So I did what I used to do professionally when evaluating drugs. I dug into the actual research myself. Not the glossy marketing materials sent to doctors' offices. The actual clinical trial data. The adverse event reports submitted to the FDA. The mechanisms of action papers published in scientific journals. What I found changed everything I thought I knew about these medications. These GLP-1 drugs work by mimicking a hormone called glucagon-like peptide 1 that tells your brain you're full. Simple enough on the surface. You feel full faster, you eat less, you lose weight. It sounds elegant and straightforward. But that hormone does a lot more in your body than just control appetite. It affects your pancreas in complex ways. It impacts your gallbladder function. It influences your thyroid. It plays a role in bone density. It even affects your mental health and emotional regulation in ways we're still discovering. The common side effects aren't just minor inconveniences you can push through. Nausea that lasts for months, vomiting after meals, severe diarrhea or constipation, stomach pain that makes it hard to function. These symptoms can be severe enough that 20 to 30% of people stop taking the drugs entirely because they simply can't tolerate them. And those are just the common expected side effects that doctors warn you about up front. The more serious risks are what really scared me when I read the clinical data. Pancreatitis, inflammation of the pancreas that can be life-threatening. Gallbladder disease requiring surgery to remove your gallbladder. Intestinal obstruction. Kidney problems. And here's something that really concerned me. These drugs carry a black box warning about thyroid cancer. That's the FDA's most serious warning level. In animal studies, these drugs caused thyroid tumors. The pharmaceutical companies say it may not apply to humans, but they don't actually know. The long-term data simply doesn't exist yet. And here's the part that really made me step back from my doctor's recommendation. When people stop taking these drugs, they regain the weight. Studies published in major medical journals show that within 1 year of stopping, people regain about 2/3 of the weight they lost. Some regain all of it. Some end up heavier than when they started. So you're looking at a lifetime commitment to weekly self-injections. Ongoing costs of $800 to $1,500 per month, often not covered by insurance for weight loss. And cumulative exposure to risks that we don't fully understand yet because these drugs simply haven't been on the market long enough for us to know. I decided there had to be another way. There had to be something that worked with my body's natural systems instead of forcing them into artificial states. And there is. It's been used for literally thousands of years in traditional medicine systems across Asia. It comes from plants. And it works through remarkably similar mechanisms to these pharmaceutical drugs, but without the synthetic chemical manipulation. I'm talking about berberine. Berberine is a compound found naturally in several plants, including Oregon grape, golden seal, barberry, and tree turmeric. These are plants that have been used by indigenous healers and traditional medicine practitioners for centuries to treat metabolic conditions. This isn't some new discovery. This is ancient wisdom being validated by modern science. Here's what the current research shows about berberine. Berberine activates an enzyme called AMPK, which stands for adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase. Scientists sometimes call AMPK the metabolic master switch because of how fundamentally it controls your metabolism. When AMPK is activated, your cells shift from storage mode to burning mode. They start burning fat for fuel instead of storing it. Your blood sugar drops naturally. Your insulin sensitivity improves. Your liver processes fat more efficiently. One landmark study directly compared berberine to metformin, which is the most commonly prescribed diabetes medication in the entire world. Berberine performed just as well as metformin at controlling blood sugar. Just as well. A plant compound matching the gold standard pharmaceutical treatment, but without the digestive side effects that make metformin difficult for many people to tolerate. Another study specifically looked at belly fat, the dangerous visceral fat that wraps around your organs and drives inflammation throughout your body. Berberine reduced visceral fat specifically, not just overall body weight. This matters enormously for metabolic health because visceral fat is far more dangerous than fat stored in other areas. And here's the crucial difference from Ozempic and similar drugs. You don't have to take berberine forever. It helps reset and retrain your metabolism over a period of months. Many people use it while they're implementing lifestyle changes, then taper off and maintain their results naturally. Your body actually heals and functions better on its own afterward. But here's the obstacle most women face when they try to use berberine. Berberine in its basic form is poorly absorbed by the human body. You can buy berberine capsules at any health food store for $20 or $30. But most of what you swallow passes straight through your digestive system without ever reaching your cells where it can actually work. The studies that showed impressive results used specific formulations designed for dramatically better absorption. That's exactly why many women in our community have discovered a concentrated formula that combines berberine with other native compounds that enhance absorption and effectiveness synergistically. It includes Seville orange peel, which contains a natural metabolic activator called P-synephrine that's been used in traditional medicine for centuries. It contains Himalayan ginger for thermogenic support and better nutrient absorption. And it includes ceremonial-grade green tea extract. What makes this different from buying random berberine capsules at the vitamin store is that it's designed specifically for bioavailability. The compounds work together, each one enhancing the absorption and effectiveness of the others. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment if you want to learn more about how it works and the research behind it. But whether you explore that option or not, let me share what else you can do to naturally activate your metabolic master switch starting today. Strategy number 1. Eat more bitter foods every day. Berberine is found in bitter plants for a reason. There's a deep connection between bitter compounds and metabolic regulation that scientists are only beginning to fully understand. Bitter compounds in general help regulate blood sugar, improve digestion, and support liver function. Your taste buds aren't just there for pleasure. They're connected to your metabolism in profound ways. When you taste bitter, your body starts preparing to process and metabolize food more efficiently. Add bitter greens to your diet regularly. Arugula with its peppery bite. Dandelion greens that you can find at farmers markets or even in your yard. Radicchio with its beautiful purple color. Endive. Mustard greens. Watercress. These bitter foods stimulate bile production, which helps you digest fats properly and eliminate toxins. They activate liver enzymes that are crucial for metabolic health and hormone processing. And they help regulate blood sugar naturally after meals. I absolutely hated bitter foods when I first started eating them. They were unpleasant and unfamiliar. Now I genuinely crave them. Your palate adapts remarkably quickly, usually within just 2 to 3 weeks, and your metabolism thanks you for making the effort. Strategy number 2, prioritize fiber from whole foods. One of the ways GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic work is by slowing down digestion, which keeps you feeling full for longer periods between meals. You can achieve a very similar effect naturally with soluble fiber from real foods. Chia seeds are absolutely incredible for this purpose. A single tablespoon of chia seeds can absorb up to 10 times its weight in water, forming a thick gel in your stomach that dramatically slows digestion and stabilizes blood sugar for hours. Flax seeds work similarly and add beneficial omega-3 fatty acids. Oats contain beta-glucan fiber that's specifically studied for blood sugar control. Lentils, beans, and other legumes are fiber powerhouses. Aim for 30 to 35 grams of fiber daily from real food sources. Most American women get less than half that amount, around 12 to 15 grams. When you increase fiber significantly, start slowly and work up over a few weeks, and drink plenty of extra water, or you'll experience uncomfortable digestive symptoms that make you want to quit. I started adding 2 tablespoons of chia seeds to my morning smoothie, and noticed a dramatic difference in how long I stayed full. Lunch became something I looked forward to rather than desperately needed by 11 a.m. Strategy number 3, time your carbohydrates strategically. Your body handles carbohydrates differently at different times of day due to circadian rhythms that affect insulin sensitivity. In the morning, when cortisol is naturally high, your insulin sensitivity is at its peak. Your cells are primed to absorb glucose efficiently. By evening, insulin sensitivity is significantly lower, sometimes by 30% or more. This means the exact same amount of carbohydrates will spike your blood sugar more at dinner than at breakfast. The rice you eat at 8 p.m. affects your body very differently than the same rice eaten at 8 a.m. By front-loading your carbohydrates earlier in the day when your body handles them best, and eating lighter, protein-focused meals in the evening, you can naturally improve your blood sugar control without changing the total amount you eat. I completely restructured my eating pattern based on this research. Big breakfast with plenty of protein, healthy fats, and most of my daily carbohydrates. Moderate lunch. Light dinner focused on protein and vegetables with minimal starch. The change in my energy levels and my waistline was noticeable within just a few weeks. Strategy number 4. Walk after every meal. This is one of the simplest and most powerful blood sugar interventions that exists, and it requires 0 supplements, 0 special foods, 0 money. Just your own 2 feet. A 10 to 15-minute walk immediately after eating can reduce blood sugar spikes by 25 to 30%. That's a medication-level effect from simply moving your body at a gentle pace. Here's why it works so well. Your muscles are like sponges for glucose when they're being used. Walking right after a meal means your muscles are actively pulling glucose directly out of your bloodstream for immediate energy. That glucose gets burned for fuel instead of spiking your blood sugar and eventually being stored as belly fat. You don't need to power walk or work up a sweat. A gentle, comfortable stroll is perfect. Just enough movement to activate your muscles and get your blood flowing. I walk for 15 to 20 minutes after dinner every single night now without exception. It's become a non-negotiable part of my evening routine, often with my husband or while listening to a podcast. And my after-dinner blood sugar numbers are dramatically better than they used to be. Strategy number 5. Support your gut bacteria. Your microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system, plays a massive role in how you metabolize food. Certain strains of gut bacteria help regulate blood sugar and reduce fat storage. Other strains do the opposite, extracting more calories from food and promoting weight gain. The composition of your microbiome is not fixed. You can shift it in a healthier direction through what you eat. Fermented foods are incredibly powerful for this. Sauerkraut, ideally raw and unpasteurized from the refrigerated section. Kimchi with its complex flavors and beneficial bacteria. Kefir, which is like yogurt, but with even more diverse bacterial strains. Yogurt with live active cultures. Not the sugary varieties, but plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. These fermented foods introduce beneficial bacteria directly into your gut and help them establish themselves and thrive. Prebiotic fiber feeds your existing good bacteria so they can multiply. Garlic is one of the best prebiotic foods. Onions and leeks, asparagus, Jerusalem artichokes, slightly underripe bananas. These prebiotic foods don't get fully digested by your human cells. They pass through to your lower intestine where they become food for your beneficial bacteria, helping those healthy populations flourish. Strategy number 6. Manage your stress response like your health depends on it, because it absolutely does. Chronic stress raises cortisol continuously, which raises blood sugar continuously, which increases fat storage continuously, especially around your midsection. No supplement, no medication, no diet can fully counteract the metabolic effects of unmanaged chronic stress. I know you can't eliminate stress from your life. None of us can in the modern world. But you can change how you respond to it and how quickly you recover from stressful events. Find what genuinely works for you and do it consistently. Deep breathing exercises, even just 5 minutes. Meditation using an app or a class. Time in nature away from screens and demands. Laughing with friends who understand you. Physical affection with people you love. Creative activities that absorb your attention. Prayer or spiritual practices if that resonates with you. I started a daily 10-minute meditation practice using a simple app. I was deeply skeptical that sitting quietly could affect my physical health. But the effects on my blood sugar were actually measurable when I tested. Stress management isn't optional self-care. It's metabolically essential medicine. Strategy number 7. Incorporate seed cycling and specific seeds. Beyond chia and flax, several other seeds have remarkable metabolic effects that most people don't know about. Fenugreek seeds have been shown in multiple studies to reduce blood sugar levels and increase feelings of fullness. They contain a unique fiber that slows carbohydrate absorption. You can soak them overnight in water and eat them in the morning, or add them to curries and other dishes. Black seed, also called black cumin or Nigella sativa, has powerful effects on insulin sensitivity that have been studied extensively in the Middle East, where it's been used medicinally for thousands of years. You can find black seed oil or whole seeds at health food stores. Pumpkin seeds are incredibly rich in magnesium, a mineral that most women are deficient in, and that's absolutely crucial for blood sugar regulation and insulin function. I rotate different seeds throughout the week to get the full spectrum of benefits. Each one brings different compounds and different advantages. And they're all whole foods that your body knows exactly how to process. Not synthetic chemicals invented in a laboratory. Now let me be completely clear about something important. I'm not saying these pharmaceutical drugs don't work. They do work for weight loss. And for some people with severe obesity and immediate life-threatening health risks, they might be medically necessary and appropriate. But for most menopausal women struggling with 20 or 30 or even 40 extra pounds, there's another path available. A path that doesn't involve weekly self-injections for the rest of your life. A path without ongoing costs of over $1,000 monthly. A path free from unknown long-term risks that even the drug companies can't tell you about because the data simply doesn't exist yet. The pharmaceutical industry makes billions and billions of dollars from chronic conditions that require ongoing treatment. They profit when you stay dependent on their products forever. They do not profit from native seeds that grow in the ground. They do not profit from lifestyle changes that address root causes and actually heal your metabolism. That's why you're not hearing about berberine and these other options from your doctor. Most doctors receive almost no training in nutrition or natural approaches. Their continuing education is often sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. The information flow is controlled by those who profit from medication dependence. That's why the media isn't covering these studies with the same breathless enthusiasm they give to every new injectable drug. There's no advertising budget from the berberine industry. No stock price to pump up. No Wall Street analysts to impress. For women who want extra support beyond diet and lifestyle changes alone, that's why I mentioned the concentrated formula that combines berberine with synergistic compounds for better absorption. It provides therapeutic doses with proper bioavailability, something you genuinely cannot achieve easily with cheap supplements from random brands. Many women use it as a bridge while they're building healthier habits and healing their metabolism. It helps accelerate results during the initial months when motivation is highest and habits are forming. Then they maintain naturally with food and lifestyle. If you're curious, I'll leave a link in the pinned comment with more information. It's not for everyone. It's not meant to replace medical advice if you have serious health conditions that require pharmaceutical treatment. But for women who want to explore a natural alternative before committing to lifelong expensive medication with unknown long-term effects, it's worth looking into. Here's what I most want you to take away from this video. You have options that nobody is telling you about. You have more power over your own metabolism than the medical system wants you to believe. Your ancestors didn't have access to injectable synthetic hormones, yet menopausal women survived and thrived and lived full lives for countless generations before these drugs existed. The answer isn't always found in a needle or a prescription pad. Sometimes the answer is in a seed that's been growing on this planet for millions of years, waiting for us to remember its wisdom. I spent 18 years of my career selling pharmaceuticals and believing I was helping people. Now I spend my time sharing what the industry doesn't want you to know. It's my way of making amends for all those years of pushing products that weren't always truly in patients' best interests. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from and whether you've been pressured to try these weight loss medications. I want to hear your story. I want to know what you're experiencing. If this video helped you see that you have options beyond expensive medications with concerning side effects, leave a like. It helps more women find this information before they commit to something they might deeply regret. Subscribe if you want more honest truth about natural alternatives to pharmaceutical solutions. I post new content every week. In my next video, I'm revealing the 3 specific seeds that directly target belly fat, the most dangerous and stubborn fat after menopause, and exactly how to use them. You won't want to miss it. Until then, remember this. Your body is not broken. It doesn't need a pharmaceutical fix to function properly. It needs the wisdom that indigenous cultures and traditional healers have known for thousands of years. Wisdom that's been suppressed and forgotten in our modern rush to medicalize every aspect of human life. I'll see you in the next video.